All right. Well, I guess we're gonna get right to it. Happy Sunday, guys. It's good to see your faces. Let's dive right in. A couple of announcements. You guys are going to see this week, we are actually going to be sharing, we do an annual scholarship giveaway every single year. It's one of my favorite things that we do. We give away a full scholarship with our full coaching program. And so the applications for that open this week. So if you have a friend or somebody who you think should apply, be sure to send that to them. You'll see it in all the places. But we do this once a year, and it's one of my favorite things that we do. And we also give a number of partial scholarships. And so it's a great way for somebody to get started if they're like, they've been just waiting for the right moment. It is potentially the perfect moment for someone to get started. And so watch for that link and share it with your friends and anyone that you think should apply. Other than that, no other announcements that I have. And so we're going to dive right into the topic for the week. We've been talking a little bit more mindset related the past couple of weeks, talking about goal setting. Hey, quit it. Can you guys hear me? Everybody froze.
Yeah, you froze, but I can hear you.
But now am I back?
Oh, yes.
Okay, weird. It completely froze for me. All right. So the past few weeks, we've been talking a little bit more mindset related stuff. We've been talking about goal setting. We've been talking about thinking about your year, looking back on the things that worked for you. We've kind of been in that place. And this week, I want to get kind of practical. I want to give you some education around creating physical change in your body. And so I want you to walk away from this call like understanding that a little bit better, because regardless of what your goal is, if your goal is weight loss, this call is going to help you. If your goal is building muscle, this call is going to help you. If your goal is building endurance or having more energy, then you're going to learn how that works on this call. And so I'm going to break it down a little bit from like a nutrition perspective. Let me stick these crazy dogs outside. Hold on, because they are going chaos behind me. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So this week on one of the Fitme Coffee Talk podcasts, I accidentally said this thing and I realized it was almost exactly how to create those physical changes that we're talking about. And it just like came out of my mouth on accident. And I said to challenge your body, to move your body, and to feed your body. And so that's kind of an oversimplification, but I want to break it down from a nutrition perspective so you can understand why those three things. If you have to remember anything, move your body, challenge your body, and feed your body. That's how you create those changes, all of the things we want. And so if we were going to look at your nutrition, the very first thing we would look at is, are you feeding your body enough food? And so how would we even know that? Well, we would look and see based off of your activity level, like how much do you move throughout the day, your age, your weight, all of those things give us a ballpark idea of how much food you need to be eating. And so if you're eating about that amount of food, typically your weight is the same. And so that's called maintenance calories. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it's kind of like you're at the amount of calories that your body needs to stay the same. Now, we're not going to go into what happens if you have worked that all the way down to like a super low level, because that's a different conversation. That's like if you've been dieting, and now your maintenance calories are like at 1200. We're just going to simplify for this call and just say that you're eating the amount of calories your body needs and you're staying the same. Okay. So that's kind of like our basic starting point. That would be great, right? If you're fueling your body with what you need, you would stay the same. If you have done that forever, you're probably already at a healthy body weight. Now, some of us have eaten more than we've needed in the past, and so our body has put on weight. How do we also know how much calories our body needs? That calculator that I was just talking about, that age, that activity level, that weight, there's a piece that it doesn't take into account, and that is muscle mass. So the more muscle we have, the more calories we need. That's a simplification, but that's pretty true. And so if we're eating as many calories as our body needs and our weight is staying the same, we're not going up and going down, we're at maintenance calories. Now, if we start to eat more than our body weight, if we start to eat a little less than our body needs, then we start to lose weight. And so one of the things that we can do to change our actual physical shape is to, one, take a look and see if we're at maintenance or not. I know that sounds weird, but is your weight stable right now? Like if your goal is weight loss and you've told your coach your goal is weight loss, is your weight stable right now? Is it changing? Is it going up? Is it going down? Is it basically staying the same? That's kind of like step one, is to figure that out. And then like, how much are you eating? If you've done a metabolism review with Molly, that's probably one of the things you've talked about is like, what are you eating? And take a look at a food journal. And so when we talk about, well, how do we create weight loss? We actually want to just eat slightly less than maintenance calories, 300 to 500 calories less, not 1,000 calories less. So that's one of the problems with those like more extreme diets that we see, like even ones that seem like pretty okay, they tend to slash like 1,000 calories off what your body needs. And to create sustainable weight loss, we actually only want 300 to 500 calories less than your body needs. And if you do that consistently, then you will see 1 to 2 pounds of weight loss per week. So that's kind of cool. Like that's simplification, but that's really how it works. Now, the kicker here is 300 to 500 calories in your body in 1 ounce a week. So that's again simplified, but I want you guys to understand that that's how it works. So when we talk about portion sizes and we're talking about Fitme plates, and we're saying we want you to look at your portion sizes, that's part of the reason. Because if you're measuring your portion sizes and you have a really good calibration of like, hey, I'm eating, this portion size and I've measured out my fat serving, I've measured out my carbs, just by doing the appropriate portion sizes, you can potentially create that 300 to 500 calorie deficit just by doing portion sizes without having to weigh and measure all your food, but just kind of taking into account, hey, I used to just wallop of sour cream and now I measure out a portion. So that's a little bit different. Or I used to put like a huge handful of cheese and now I measure out a portion. Or I used to like fill my bowl with rice and now I measure out a portion. Just paying attention to your portion sizes alone can be a really great way to start to create a downward weight loss trend. And again, if that's what you're looking for, portion sizes are going to be something you need to talk to your coach about. And so just to be clear, that's why, right? If we're not paying attention to our portion sizes and we're eating maintenance, we're kind of eating the same amount that our body needs, maybe a little bit more. And then all of a sudden we start paying attention to portion sizes, we can create that deficit pretty easily. Another way to create that 3 to 5 we're talking about is to move your body. Remember, move your body, challenge your body, feed your body. So move your body means walking. Are you moving throughout the day? Getting up and doing 10-minute walks throughout your day can be really effective. Doing a 30-minute walk after dinner, doing a walk as an activity. I think Paige and Rebecca went for a walk this week. Like you could have gone out to lunch and had, margaritas and mimosas and, Buffalo Wild Wings. And instead you guys went for a walk and talked. And so it's not that those things are bad. It's just you chose to make that an activity. Well, that's a very positive thing that you can do to move your body. So creating walking throughout your day can be really important. And then the last piece is strength training. So challenging your body means using some sort of resistance training or weights to build up that muscle mass. Because remember, we talked about the muscle is actually what burns calories in our body. And we want to preserve that muscle mass even when we're losing weight. And the way that we do that is by getting enough protein and by doing some sort of strength training. And so if I have to simplify, because sometimes we can get really caught up in all the things, but we talked for 2 weeks about goal setting. And now I want you to know that there are some basics that you can do if you chose a goal that included weight loss. And I know a lot of people did, that's a part of it, or I want to see my body composition change. Like I want to have more muscle and less body fat. I don't care about the number on the scale, but I want to see those changes. Then what I just described to you are your first 3 steps. before you get lost in all the details, if you are not paying attention to your portion sizes, if you are not walking every day and you're not doing some version of strength training, that's where you need to start. And so Fitme plates with portion sizes, walking daily, and strength training. These are the priorities that I want you to build into your week. And how you build those in, I want you to work on that with your coach. Now, what if your goal isn't weight loss? And your goal is, I just want to feel good. I want to have good energy. I just want to live my best healthy life. Well, guess what? All this still applies to you. The only difference is we don't want to be 300 to 500 calories less than your body needs. We just want to eat as much food as your body needs. That's the only difference. But we still want to move every day because our bodies are much healthier when we're walking. And we still want to strength train because even as women, we start to lose muscle mass at a fairly high rate at our 30s, but even faster in our 40s and beyond. And so we need to preserve that muscle mass, and we need to feed our body, even when we're not trying to lose weight. That's a novel thing. Like, oh my God, I should pay attention to my nutrition, even when my goal isn't weight loss. Yes, you should still be eating Fitme plates, and you should still be feeling like you've got energy because you're eating high quality food. And so those things don't really change. The only difference is whether or not you're eating the full amount that your body needs or you're eating slightly less than your body needs. That's a simplification, but that is really truly how it works. And here's the deal, like another thing that I want people to feel comfortable with, and you should be talking to your coach about this because it is normal. If you are eating slightly less than your body needs, AKA losing weight, it is normal to be a little bit hungry. In fact, if you're not hungry at all, that's a problem. That means like red flag, have a conversation with your coach. It's good when you're losing weight to feel a little bit hungry. Now, you shouldn't be starving all day long and want to like stab somebody. You're so hangry. But I'm talking about you wake up in the morning and you're like, I'm hungry. I could eat. You know, you get to your meals and it's like, I'm hungry. Like I could eat. But then you eat your meal and you feel satisfied. You're like, that was good. That was what I needed. And even before bed, feeling a tiny bit hungry, not like starving, but a tiny bit hungry before bed is normal when you are losing weight. And so I just want to share that because sometimes we've been taught like with some of the language around weight loss that we never should feel hungry. We should never have cravings. Like these are the things that make cravings go away. It's kind of normal to feel a little bit hungry. And again, we want you to. And so I just kind of wanted to hit the basics tonight. I wanted to reinforce the things that you should focus on as a priority, regardless of if your goal is weight loss. These are absolutely the number one things to start with. But if your goal is just increasing your strength or your energy levels, these are also the things to focus on. Are you challenging your body? Are you moving your body? And are you feeding your body? That's the game that we're playing. And if we do a good job of that, then we're going to feel our best. And all we're doing is tweaking those things based off of our goals. So, right, if you have a big goal, I know some of you set big goals, like some people want to do a Spartan. I know Marlena's working towards like a really challenging, like ruck walk, crazy baton death march thing. Those things still apply. She still needs to feed her body, but now she's going to feed her body so that she's recovering and feeling energized and strong. She's not going to be probably focused too much on weight loss because she's preparing for this really cool physical thing. And she's going to challenge her body. That's the season that she's in. She's really going to focus on that piece where she's doing training and she's challenging her body. And she's moving her body by default because that's part of what her goal is. So those things really aren't different. It's just kind of tweaked based off of her goal. So what is your goal this season? Again, I asked you that last week and we talked about it the week before. And now I want you to take that goal and I want you to talk with your coach about what it is specifically in the move, challenge, or feed that you need to adjust to reach your goal. And again, it could be portion sizes. It could be the quality of your Fitme plates or how often you're eating them. It could be that you're not doing any strength training yet and you need to be doing that. Again, super key for weight loss, for it to be sustainable and for all of our body composition goals. Again, regardless of if you don't have a number on the scale, women need to be strength training, period. Always. some version of resistance training, and then moving our body. We should always be moving our body. I hope that we're 90 years old and we're all still going for a walk and being like, Fitme, movement done. You know, that's the thing. We should be knowing that that is going to be a forever part of keeping our bodies healthy and active and functional. And so if any of those pieces are missing, that's your focus for the week. So I want to kind of open this up for conversation. It's a little tricky to talk about this as a general because everybody's a unique snowflake. And so it does differ from person to person and kind of what your background is. But I wanted you to have some of the basics and why we're doing what we're doing and give you a focus for your goals. And so what questions do you guys have? What can we dive into? Nothing. Everybody's like, I know what to do now. Move my body, challenge my body, feed my body. Done. Did I break everybody's brains?
Everyone's quiet tonight. I mean, there's so much, I mean, I like, Christy, that you added that each person is unique and, everyone's, it's slightly different. I think that's the beauty in Fitme is everyone gets an opportunity to talk to their coach, right? To find out and determine based on how much movement and how much to eat and how much to cut and when is the right time to go into a weight loss season to really make sure you're ready for it. Because as I've learned, not everyone is ready at the same time. You don't just, you don't diet for all 12 months out of the year. Your body doesn't like that. So that might be a good point to mention.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. We shouldn't have weight loss be the goal all year. And honestly, weight loss isn't what we tend to emphasize in Fitme on purpose because emphasizing it doesn't tend to create the results that we want, but we do have to recognize it as an important goal for many people in Fitme. It has health factors that are very significant for people and also is an important goal. And so a lot of people I know set that as a goal for right now. And so that's why I wanted to talk about it on this call. And we'll do a separate call where we can specifically talk about the scale, about measuring progress in different ways. We can even hit again, talking about dieting and diet history. We can do a call specific to strength training, all of those things to talk about how that works. But I kind of wanted to hit all three tonight and really talk about that. That's the full picture.
I think that emphasizing that when we start out on making those changes, when we don't see the initial maybe weight loss or what we're looking for, not giving up because we have to figure out what that correct adjustment is to make that impact.
Yeah, that's perfect, Lisa, because there's nothing new under the sun here, guys. Like if walking, eating quality food and strength training isn't working for you, there's no other magic trick out there. It's just simply taking those things and then figuring out how we need to tweak it for you. It may be a portion size thing. It may be a diet history thing. It may be a body strength thing. There may be things, but there's nothing new under the sun here. This is how you do it. And so putting those things in place and sort of building that foundation is really key. So I just kind of want to simplify for you real quick. And then Kristen, I want to hear your question, but to simplify, if you are not walking regularly during your week, then you need to be. And so start talking to your coach about how to do that. If you are not doing some version of strength training, something in your week, then talk to your coach about how to start building that in. And if you are not eating Fitme plate style meals regularly, then talk to your coach about how to start doing that. Those are our foundations. That's where we want to build off of. And then, like Lisa said, we can make adjustments. Kristen, what was your question?
I don't know that it was so much of a question, but I've always felt like I wanted to lose weight. I lost weight a couple years ago, seemed to be keeping it off for a while, and then boom, I went haywire off my habits and everything and gained like 30 to 40 pounds. And so while I really, really, really want to lose weight, I recognize that I need to get back to my habits. And so this year I'm going to be focusing on getting back to my Fitme habits.
I think that that's a great focus, Kristen. And then again, you're building that foundation.
And I'm not going to lie, hopefully doing that will help me lose a little bit, but I'm not, by taking the focus off of weight loss and just the focus on being healthy and taking better care of my body, hopefully losing weight eventually will be a byproduct.
Yep, it will. That's how it works. And you identified it yourself. You even said it. The habits went away.
Yeah.
And the weight came on. And so let's build a stable foundation of those habits that you can return to, not make the weight the focus, but like build that foundation and you'll see those changes.
Yeah.
I like it, Kristen. Good stuff. What else do you guys have? Questions? Thoughts, comments?
Hey, Christy, when you say, you should be like walking every day, I knew this when I joined Fitme. And, you guys give an average of 10,000 steps. I know my own feelings when I first joined Fitme was I was like, I think I move enough. I walk. And so is 10,000 steps like where, like the base starting point, or is 5,000, or, because I was probably getting, I don't know, let's just say 3,500 to 5,500 steps a day. And I thought that was enough.
I think it really does depend on the person. And I would just say, start where you're at. Like if you're somebody who is doing 3,500 steps a day, I would say like, let's shoot for 5,500 and let's get 5,500 become your normal. And then once you're at 5,500 consistently, let's go to 7,500 and let's make that your new normal. And then yes, from there, like try to get to 10,000. Like that's a great goal. But it doesn't have to be where you start.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that starting point. And if you're like, I don't like tracking steps because it makes me neurotic because I look at my watch all day and then I'm like worried about stuff, you can still do what I'm talking about. Just do it from a like, how often do I get up and move around?
Yeah.
Like, and you can just say like, right now I get up and move around 0, and I'm going to start getting up 3 times for 10 minutes. And that's going to be my baseline. And then I'm going to increase it to 3 times. And then so that you can increase it. But 10,000 steps is approximately 4 miles of walking throughout your whole day. So if you just want a ballpark idea of what that is, that's approximate.
I love that, just because, depending on every person, right, and where you're at, I know, for me, if I was at 2,000 steps, thinking of just starting tomorrow and I'm going to get 10,000 steps a day, it's tough. That's a big jump. So I love just the progression. You don't start overnight, and that's why building these habits take time.
Mm-hmm. And just like strength training, we're just trying to create an adaptation. So sometimes it's like, well, if I've been lifting 5-pound dumbbells for a while and it's easy, well, then now it's time to add some more weight if I want to continue to see changes. But sometimes if you haven't lifted any weight, 5 pounds can be heavy. That's a great place to start. But once it's easy, then you add to it. And similar, like with walking, I would say, if you're not walking at all, getting to 5,000 steps could be really tough. So like work on that until it's easy. And then once that's easy, then let's add to it. And then you're going to continue to see those changes. And really it's the same thing with the plates and with the strength training. Just start exactly where you are. Yours is not going to look the same as everybody else's. So that's why it's really important to have a conversation with your coach that's really open, honest, and real. Like one of our Fitme values being realness. There's no reason to feel guilty or ashamed or bad about it. This is where you are, and we're here to support you to move forward. And there's no judgment. So it's like, well, what does that look like? It may look like, you know, 1 strength training a week if you're at 0. It may not look like 3. And if you're not walking at all, maybe it looks like 3 days a week that you start walking. It doesn't have to be every day. Just move forward, and be clear with your coach about what it is that you're working towards. And then let them help you and guide you onto like what that next action step should be. Any other questions? Well, I'd love to take a group picture. So if you can, turn your screen on just for like a second, and we'll take a Fitme family picture. Thanks, guys. All right, ready? Hold on a second. Actually, I'm gonna do it with my phone. Okay, hold on. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Got it. All right, guys, have a phenomenal week. If you have other questions, you know where to find us. Let us know how we can support you best. And we will talk to y'all soon. Take care. Bye.
Good night. Thanks.
Good night.